So we're down here on the south end is the portico.
That's correct.
Right? Would it be fair to say we're talking about this area right here?
Yes, sir.
Northwest end of the building.
That's correct.
States 18E. It's an echo. Was there more damage noted to the rear quarter panel, driver's side quarter panel of the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
States 18F is in Foxtrot. Is that just a close-up of the, I believe, the front driver's side quarter panel? Paint transfer, and then go back out.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Salute. Good morning, everybody. Salute, salute, salute. Get these likes up. Let's go. My bad, I'm late, but I had to handle some business. And I ain't gonna be here for the whole trial today. I'm probably gonna be here till lunchtime, and then I got shit I gotta do today. So we're here till lunch. And after lunch, y'all on your own. Double tap the screen, get the likes up, gang.
J is in Juliet. Moving back to the rear. Maybe the front quarter panel. There appeared to be a streak going across here.
Yes,
Possible damage of some kind of scraping that occurred.
Not to go live and do some promo on my other channel, so just disregard the live.
Did your investigation reveal that that car was parked in that spot during the time of the incident?
Yes, it was, sir.
Otherwise not involved in the incident?
No.
Okay. States 5F is in Foxtrot. You recognize what's depicted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we see the same Lexus motor vehicle
That's correct.
in the handicap spot. Do you kind of faintly see the trail of liquid coming out of the Dodge Charger?
Yes, sir.
And would this photograph be facing north, slightly northeast?
Yes, sir.
States 5J is in Juliet. And now the camera is moving further north, still documenting a northbound direction.
Yes, sir.
This is a law enforcement vehicle.
Yes, it is.
States 5L is in Lima. Is this the north?
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
Driver's side of the vehicle where you found the damage.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then that car ended up here.
That's correct.
Did you find an item in this area that was consistent with being the rear window of the Dodge Charger that had been displaced and fallen off the vehicle?
Yes, we did, sir.
States 5M. Now, is this the area where the Charger would have passed through?
Yes, sir.
And is this camera angle facing directly west towards that small building with the dumpster?
Yes, sir.
And is this the sidewalk that the Dodge Charger would have passed over?
Yes, sir.
This item here, was that the item we saw earlier when we were looking at the car with the damage?
I believe it was depicted in that photo as well. Yes, sir.
And this is a portion of the bottom of the Dodge Charger that was displaced?
Yes, sir. The it appears to be the plastic molding that covers the bottom of the engine compartment of the vehicle.
States 5N. Here, do we see that item over here to the left? And wait for this to see if it's going to focus.
Yes, sir.
All right. And does this reflect the path that the Dodge Charger took?
It does, yes, sir.
States 5P is in Papa. In this photograph, can you see the rear window of the Dodge Charger?
Yes, sir. About center of the frame, more towards the right side of the picture.
This part here.
That's correct.
And does it appear to be in the same shape and appearance as it would be while it was inside of the car,
Yes.
but folded up?
Folded up. Yes, sir.
And can we see the glass being, it appears to have been shattered?
Yes, sir.
States 5Q. In this photograph, can we see reflection of light off of the liquid that was left?
Yes, sir.
States 5R. Is the Dodge Charger now visible?
It is. Yes, sir.
Is this it right here?
It is.
States 5S is in Sierra. Is this the Dodge Charger?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can we still see the liquid that is being deposited as it's moving?
Yes, sir.
To the left here, we see a Hyundai motor vehicle. Was that one of the motor vehicles that was parked behind the victim when the incident occurred?
Yes, sir.
Or the motor vehicle that was parked behind?
Yes.
Okay. While we're in this exhibit, I'm going to have you look at this in 5T. This would be the northwest edge of the hotel, reflecting all the floors.
Yes, sir.
Just for reference, this is that dumpster area.
That's correct.
States 5U. On the top floor, was there damage noted to this window?
Yes, sir.
Was it later determined to be having been caused by gunfire?
Yes, sir.
Publishing states 5V, it's in Victor. Is that just a more close-up photo of the damage?
It is. Yes, sir.
States 5N. Is this another window that was impacted by gunfire?
Yes, it is.
States 5X. Just a close-up of that photograph
That's correct, sir.
or that damage?
Yes, sir.
Publishing State 7A is an alpha. It's at the front end of the Charger.
It is, yes, sir.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Detective, was there an officer who came out at the scene, a Detective McNamara from the Tampa Police Department that was part of a federal task force?
Yes, sir.
And as a result of his association to the federal task force, did employees from the, or individuals from the federal ATF come out to the crime scene?
Yes, sir, they did.
And that's alcohol, tobacco, firearms?
Yes, sir.
And other than the one shell casing that was collected and impounded by the Tampa Police Department, were the other shell casings collected by Tampa Police Department personnel, but then provided to the ATF personnel?
Yes, eventually they were, yes, sir.
And, well, were they provided after being processed through a TPD?
Once they got submitted into evidence by the techs and assigned a property tag number, then they were transferred to the custody of the ATF, yes, sir.
And it was a total of 31 9mm shell casings in the scene?
A total of 31, yes, sir.
So I'm going to call your attention back to the Charger. States 6B. We can see what appears to be the red shorts of the victim and the victim's body still in the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
6C, we can see the Hyundai over here.
That's correct.
And when I say over here, to the west, northwest of that Charger.
Yes, sir.
Stage 6E, victim's legs and socks.
That's correct.
And stage 6F, we can see the victim's upper body, his right arm, his hair, and a stocking cap and his upper body.
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say that his body is face down, straddling over the center console into the back seat?
Yes, sir.
would that position be consistent with him attempting to take cover?
Yes, sir.
Now, stage 6G is in golf. We can clearly see in these photographs that we are now, you were now at that time clearly into daylight hours.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I want to talk to you about that. When the Tampa Police Department in the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County, which is contained within Hillsborough County,
Yes, sir.
when you respond to a homicide scene, does the homicide unit, if you determine that there is a deceased individual that you believe is the victim of a homicide, do you contact other agencies to respond to that scene other than law enforcement?
Yes, we did.
Well, at least TPD.
Yes, sir.
Is one of the agencies the state attorney's office?
Yes, sir.
And when a body is still in the scene, does an assistant state attorney normally respond out to the scene?
Yes, sir.
And is that to assist with legal issues such as search warrants and that type of thing?
That's
Maybe charging decisions.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Do you also contact the Hillsborough County Medical Examiner's office?
Yes, sir.
And do they maintain a dispatch?
They do. Yes, sir.
And do they dispatch personnel to the scene to conduct their investigation of the scene?
Yes, sir. They do.
Ultimately, inevitably, when you have a victim of a homicide in a scene like this, in this case, you believe the victim was killed by gunshots or gunfire, is the body ultimately transported from the scene to the medical examiner's office?
Yes, it is.
And is that for the purpose of an autopsy examination?
Yes, sir. It is.
And is that for the purpose of determining the cause of death and the manner of death?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when the body's in the scene like that, well, first of all, let me talk about the medical examiner's office. After they are contacted, does that take sometimes up to several hours before they can get personnel to the scene?
Depending on their call volume that they have to respond to. Yes, sir.
And is that especially true when it's early in the morning or in non-business hours?
Yes, sir.
And on some occasions, do actual associate medical examiners, the doctors who perform the autopsies, do they actually respond?
They do. Yes, sir.
But almost always do they have forensic investigators who respond.
Yes, they do.
And they will take their own photographs and they will view the body.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Before the medical examiner's office personnel arrive at the scene, is the body, if it can be helped, is the body changed, affected, moved in any way?
No, sir.
Are you trying to maintain the position of the victim's body and the dynamics around the body until the medical examiner's office can get there to look at it?
Yes, sir. We are.
And in fact, under the law, does the medical examiner's office have jurisdiction over that body
Yes, they do.
until it's taken to the autopsy examination?
Yes, sir. They do.
So legally, you really are not supposed to be manipulating the body or molesting it in any way or moving it. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And since this takes sometimes hours for them to respond, does that sometimes lead to this type of situation where the body is still in the scene for several hours?
Yeah, and add in the addition of having to obtain search warrants to enter into a vehicle to retrieve evidence
Right.
being the body as well. Yes, it's not uncommon for it to take several hours to do that.
And once they arrive, after taking their photographs, will they commonly manipulate the body, check the body, move the body, look for injuries on the body?
Yes, sir.
Do they go through clothing, check pockets, things like that, remove items of maybe found like a wallet, maybe something that's inside of a pocket, like
Yep.
a lighter, a wallet, something like that?
Sure. Yes, sir.
In this situation, if someone was to ask, why didn't you cover Mr. Jones with a sheet just for dignity purposes? Are you supposed to do that, to cover a body in this circumstance with just a sheet?
No, we avoid that at all costs. It's for the purpose of, avoiding any kind of contamination to the body, to the evidence that may be deposited on the body and around the body.
So the fact that a body may lay in a scene, and it may be out in the open on a parking lot, and it may be a somewhat undignified situation, is just not preventable.
No.
Now, in that circumstance, if the body's out in the open, you all have blinds sometimes that you'll put up. If it's in the middle of the daylight, there's public around to try to protect the dignity of the victim. Is that correct?
If we can use them, we try to.
And the
Yes, sir.
integrity of your investigation.
Yes, sir.
But in this instance, the body was inside of a motor vehicle and there was a huge crime scene protecting it.
Yes, sir.
Tape was around it, protecting it, keeping the public away.
Yes, sir.
Right. Stage 6, K is in kilo. This photograph appears to depict maybe a phone charger and some phones laying on the front passenger seat
Yes, sir.
and some shoes.
Yes, sir.
Were those determined to be associated to Mr. Jones?
Yes, they were, sir.
Stage 6M. And is this documenting the process I talked about earlier where the victim's pockets are emptied?
Yes, sir.
And here we have a key fob and a driver's license and looks like a credit card or a debit card.
Yes, sir.
Is this Mr. Jones' driver's license?
It is, yes, sir.
Showing an address in Jacksonville.
Yes, sir.
His date of birth, 6/21/98. His height, 5'11", expiration date, etc.
Yes, sir.
Now, did it come to your attention fairly quickly in this investigation that Mr. Jones was from the city of Jacksonville
Yes, sir.
and that there were other individuals in his car and the individuals in the car behind him and to the side of him that fled and came back and were later you made contact with them, that they were all from Jacksonville?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the state with tender states Exhibit 19A is an alpha through G is in golf, and Exhibit 20A is an alpha, P is in Peter.
Okay, any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sinardi?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise?
There you go.
Mr. Petratus? Will be admitted.
Earlier, we saw the damage to the exterior windows of the northwest side of the home to suite. So I want to talk to you about your investigation of that.
Sure.
In Stage 19A, did your investigation lead you to room number 230 on the second floor of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
And
And
is
I'm sorry,
this, I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Harmon, the time kind of got away from me. I realized it's
Yes.
almost 11.
that's fine.
Does anyone need a comfort break? Yes, okay, all right, very good, sorry. All right, 5-minute recess. We'll be back.
All rise.
Motherfuckers taking a comfort break. Anybody need a comfort break? Anybody in here need a comfort break? I'm gonna be real. I ain't been in no trial as far as me. I just don't remember nobody asking if anybody needed a damn comfort break. You know, I heard of we need like a little recess and y'all, you guys you comfortable? You need a comfort break? The fuck it must be some Florida shit. I ain't never heard of that. Hey, since we got a little break, y'all. Right about now, if you want a moderator wrench, you need to get a membership. In order to be a moderator, you need to get, membership's only started $2.99. So you can just grab a $2.99 membership and you'll be cool to get a moderator wrench. So if anybody out here does want to be a moderator on this channel, just grab a $2.99 membership, any form of membership, just some sort of support. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where I go live and do stuff like this. A lot of stuff that I won't put on Ratchet TV The Hood's Journalist, I'll put over here. You know what I'm saying? Ratchet TV The Hood's Journalist is strictly for what it's for, and Ratchet TV Media is different. So I put a lot of stuff that I wouldn't normally put on my main channel. I'll put it on here. And then I got a body cam channel. You know, we do the body cam footage on that channel. And I got a gaming channel. We do gaming on that channel. So yeah, I got different channels, different levels for different stuff. So I work too much to be a mod. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Just support the channel how you support the channel. It's all love. I'm a member. No, you're not. Not on this channel, Aries. You're probably a member on my main channel. You're not a member on this channel. You're not green. And you would be green if you was a member. So everybody grab a membership. If you don't have a membership, get one today if you want a wrench. Talking about. So what y'all thinking about this, man? I'm gonna be real. Isaiah Chance looks defeated. There go Patricia Smith. She said, let me get my damn moderator wrench back. I need that wrench. I gotta go to my phone and put her. Hold on. La 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 la. All right, hold on. Salute Patricia. Salute Shu. Salute everybody. Good morning. What up? So you? What up? What up? What up? What up, everybody? Good morning to everybody. Salute. I'm only gonna be here till lunch. So you KB, make sure you hit me up on Instagram, The Ratchet TV. Yeah, I'm only gonna be here till about lunchtime today because I got shit I gotta do today. So once they go to lunch break, then I'm done for the day. Aries love. Salute for the membership. Salute, salute. Give you a moderator wrench. All right. All right. Go ahead and hit the DM talking about. Shabika said, hey daddy. Salute, salute, Shabika. Good morning, Jelly Belly, Jelly Belly, Jelly, 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 Jelly Belly. What up, y'all? Hey, so they on a comfort break right now. Whatever. Has anybody in here ever heard of a comfort break? All right. Okay, Jackie. You know it's love. Salute, salute. Has anybody ever been on trial and been like, hey, y'all boys need a comfort break? I ain't never heard of that shit. Y'all think they gonna beat this case? We was talking about it last night. All I can say is with this case, okay, bet Linda, you know it's love. I mean, if you get a membership, I'm most likely just give you a moderator wrench anyway. You ain't got to do nothing with it, but just to show love. The thing with the Foolio case is they gonna have to prove everything they're saying. I ain't heard of that under no circumstances. Nah, hell nah. I don't know. All I can say is the Foolio trial, they're gonna have to prove everything that they're saying, which I think the prosecution is doing a very good job. It's just how can I put it? It's easier said than done. Yeah, everybody looks guilty based on what you're saying, but then again, I mean, you gotta prove it. Just like they couldn't prove Alicia case. They just got her on manslaughter. They got her on something, but they couldn't prove Alicia Andrews' case. They couldn't prove it. I think it was a loss for them because Alicia got away with what she got away with. And then the thing about Alicia case, they never even subpoenaed the phone. Like they didn't subpoena the phone. They didn't subpoena her house to get the phone and see if the phone was in there. They really needed that phone. And then they decided, you know what? That phone ain't so important. You know, that's the key piece of evidence to lock her and everybody else up beyond a reasonable doubt. But we're not even going to go for the phone. We just want her. That's the only thing that I'm like, in this case, it just never made sense to me. The phone was the biggest key piece of evidence in Alicia Andrews' case, and you never even subpoenaed her house and did a search warrant for her house to go get the phone. You never went and looked for the phone. y'all just say, oh well, and then they didn't use LexisNexis to go get the message. You can look, bro. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. This is the police we're talking about. They can go get your text message. I don't need your phone. Fuck the phone. I can just go get you. I can just subpoena the phone company or use LexisNexis, and I can just go get your goddamn text messages and your call logs. I don't need your goddamn, and I could just subpoena Meta, and then that's what I'm saying. They didn't do none of this shit. They didn't subpoena Meta. They didn't subpoena the phone company. They didn't subpoena the house. They didn't subpoena anything to go look for the phone that they needed. They just said, fuck the phone. And that's the only thing that like makes me think like, what is really going on in this case? Because you had Alicia Andrews dead to rights with the phone. With the phone, Alicia Andrews gets life right with these niggas. Salute, Linda. I'm gonna give you a wrench anyway. I know you don't want it, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. If you know, that's all I love, Linda. I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Aries got hers and Patricia got hers. So yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think about that though? Because once they didn't go for Alicia's phone, I kind of felt like you don't want the murder then. Like you don't want to know what really happened to Foolio, because in my mind, I could be wrong, but I think if you get Alicia Andrews' phone, you get her boyfriend beyond a reasonable doubt. We know that he's involved because their messages are going to show that. Matter of fact, where is his phone at? Did you subpoena his phone and go get his phone to go get her damn records too with his? You could have gotten her talking to Kesey on the phone. You could have gotten her Meta records. You could have solved a lot of this case with Alicia Andrews' phone. Brandon, where's your membership? Where is your membership, Brandon? Now you could have got a lot with that damn phone. Whenever they come back, I need some water. My stomach gonna be growling like a motherfucker. I ain't ate shit. I know I'm hungry as hell. I need at least some water, cuz I ain't smoked either. I'm just chilling. Thugging. You know how I be thugging. Oh man. Well, good morning, everybody. If you want to donate to the channel, you could do so by sending a super chat or a super sticker or just getting a membership. Or you can send a Cash App $Ratchet TV, or you can just hit the like button, man, and subscribe to the channel. Just show some love some type of way, man. I'll be up here trying to give y'all the best content I can give y'all every day while I'm still trying to maintain my normal life. So could they come back after the trial? No. Well, the only thing about Alicia is she's fixing to get a retrial. So with her getting a retrial, I think that's stupid because you already got a manslaughter charge, slap on the wrist. Now, if they retry you, you might get the murder with these niggas. So I think it's a foolish move on Alicia's part. Me personally, if I'm Alicia and I'm in this situation, I mean, yeah, you could take a shot in the dark and retry it and possibly get off, but you already been in there 2 years. You're on a manslaughter charge. You might have gotten sentenced, just being real. You might have got a 5-year sentence. You already done 2 on a 5. Or 1.5, damn near 2. You damn near did 2 years on a 5. Yeah, in June it'll be, if I'm not mistaken, it was June, right? 2024. So it's almost been 2 years. You would be getting out next year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And they might have sentenced you to 3 years. I think you would have gotten a 3 to 5 year sentence for manslaughter. I don't know. I'm just guessing, y'all. I think Alicia Andrews possibly would have gotten a 3 to 5 year sentence. And she's already done damn near 2. So if I'm Alicia, I'm not retrying this shit. Fuck it. I got the slap on the wrist manslaughter charge. I'm gonna be about this bitch anyway next year. I don't think she would have gotten sentenced to 10, 15 years. I think she would have gotten like maybe a 5 to 7 max. And I don't even think that. I really think they would have gave her 5 years, 3 to 5. So Alicia I think it's dumb for her to retry it. I wouldn't retry it. My boy G Money in the building. Salute. Appreciate that 20-piece McNugget, cat. Appreciate that nugget, cat. I said he should. Amy said he showed need one. Who showed need one? Hold on, what G Money say? He said her ass is cooked, not booked. That's what I'm saying. But she wasn't cooked with her original sentence. She only getting cooked because she's retrying it, and they're gonna have all of this evidence on these people after her. See, the thing was, she went first. That was the best decision to go first. I want to go first before everybody. Before y'all present all the bullshit on these motherfuckers, let me be the first one to go to trial, because my trial is pretty much going to determine their trial. So we already know she's guilty. of manslaughter because they are the ones who planned it out and she wasn't involved in it. So now, well, at least that's what they said on her trial. They basically said you didn't plan it, you really wasn't a part of it, but based on you just being there, we're gonna lock you up and we're gonna convict you just on manslaughter because you had something to do with something, just not the whole deal. So she got a slap on the wrist. Now she's saying, you know what? I want to get off completely. Retry me. The judge was being biased. The judge was biased. The judge was a real bi whoop de whoop to her, but the judge was just going to sentence you. The judge was not the jury. The jury convicted you. The jury said you did it. So the jury said you're guilty of manslaughter. You should have took the manslaughter, my opinion. Now maybe she goes back to trial and she gets off and beats it. Cool for her. I think she goes back to trial and get charged for murder. That's my opinion. I think she's going to go back to trial. She's going to retry it and they're going to convict her of murder and she's going to get about 15, 20 years because she's stupid. Alicia Andrews, she got the pretty girl privilege, slap on the wrist, and she don't want the wrist slap. She said, slap me on my ass. She said, I don't want the wrist slap me across my ass. Okay, say less. My bad, y'all. I was texting something. Hold on, my bad. All right, my phone going off. All right. So yeah, I don't know, man. It said if she go back, she cooked, she already went. But isn't she going for retrial? If I'm not mistaken, that's the reason why she hasn't gotten sentenced yet. Ain't she going up for retrial? Because her sentence date was December 8th, my birthday. Nigga, is January, February, March, April. Nigga, it's 4 months later. It's going to be May, 5 months later. It's going to be 5 months later in like a week or two. I could have sworn she was going up for retrial. She is? Yeah, because the reason why she didn't get sentenced
Judge, before we bring out
was
the
because
jury,
there was
the
no
next
retrial.
witnesses that we have are going to be some lay witnesses, and I sent you and
I got the
defense counsel-
list.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bring in our jury. Okay.
All right.
Okay, very good. Welcome back, members of the jury, and Mr. Harmon, you may proceed.
Detective, earlier we were talking about and looking at damage to exterior windows of motel rooms, hotel rooms, on the northwest and western side of the hotel. And I'm going to show you States 19A that's in evidence now. This is depicting, it looks like the front of room 230. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's on the second floor, obviously.
Yes, it is.
And did you go there following up on the exterior damage?
Yes, we did.
Were you allowed into the room?
Yes, we were.
States 19B. Since we're looking at photographs, were there crime scene technicians that went with you or participated in this investigation?
Yes, there were, sir.
States 19C. States 19D is in Delta. What does this photograph depict?
The window in the room and the projectile strike damage to that window.
It appears, looking outside of that window, we can see the top of the dumpster area.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Would that put this room slightly north of that dumpster?
Yes, it would.
States 19E. Is that just a close-up of the defect in the window caused by the projectile?
Yes, sir, it is.
States 19F. We previously saw that window sits above the air conditioning unit.
That's correct, sir.
Was there some item found on top of the unit?
Yes, sir, fragmentation.
States 19G. Did you collect that
Yes,
item?
yes, sir.
Did that appear to be associated with gunfire?
Yes, it did, sir.
Moving on to states 20A, and now going to the fourth floor of the hotel. States 20A is an alpha. You're now at room 430.
That's correct.
States 20B is in Bravo. Is that the interior of the room?
It is, yes, sir.
States 20C is in Charlie. Just another view of the interior with the beds, and now we're looking at, I guess, partially the roof, ceiling.
Yes, sir.
States 20D is in Delta. Was there some damage or defect in the wall that was being documented
Yes, sir.
in this area here?
That's correct.
States 20E. Is that a close-up?
Yes, it is.
Going back to states 20C, was that in an area above one of these beds?
It was, yes, sir.
States 20F is in Foxtrot. Is this the window of the room
Yes, sir.
with the blinds that are still, well, the blinds are closed?
Yes, sir.
Was there damage to the blinds caused by impact to the window by some gunfire?
Yes, sir.
States 20G. And is that the impact to the window?
Yes, sir, with the blinds rolled up, yes, sir.
States 20H. Is that damage to a window?
Yes, sir.
States 20I is in India. Did you find damage in the adjoining room, 432?
Yes, we did, sir.
Get these likes up, y'all. Get these
States
likes up.
20J is in Juliet. Is that just entering the room, a photograph?
It is, yes, sir.
These rooms were occupied.
430 and 432 were occupied, yes, sir.
States 20K. And we can see here, it looks like the window, the blind is halfway up or partially up.
Yes, sir.
States 20L is in Lima. Is there some defect on the wall that's documented here?
Yes, sir.
See if I can close it. States 20M. A little bit of a close-up of that.
It is, yes, sir.
Just so we can see in contrast or where it is relevant. Okay, perfect. States 20N is in November. Is that a close-up of the damage?
Yes, sir.
States 20O is in Oscar. Was there damage not just to that wall, but also on the ceiling.
Yes, sir.
States 20P is in Peter. Are there defects here in the ceiling?
Yes, sir.
The damage that we've been looking at, would it all be consistent with gunfire,
Yes, it would, sir.
being caused by gunfire?
Yes, sir, it would.
The state would tender for admission into evidence states 22A through B and states 23.
Any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petris? Admitted?
Publishing states 1. All right, detective. So just to orient ourselves, we have the south end of the hotel in the portico, the area where the Lexus was parked. And we have these parking spots that are lined up north to south that we talked about. And then we have in the curb angles at a 45 degree approximately to the northwest. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And there appears to be a drive heading into the back of the Holiday Inn.
That's correct.
In this area, was there a Tesla charging station?
Yes, it was.
And in your investigation, did you come into contact with the owner of a Tesla that was being charged during this incident?
Yes, we did, sir.
Did he agree to meet with you?
He did.
States 8 Delta. Again, the Lexus, just to orient us where we are. And we see this car, these cars parked facing east, so in a west-east orientation, but then we see a car facing northeast.
Yes,
at
sir.
an oblique to these cars or to this spot. Is this the approximate area where the Tesla charging station
Yeah,
is located?
right there by those trees where the bend in the parking lot is. Yes, sir.
And when you met with the owner of the Tesla, did you and Detective Kirkpatrick both meet with him?
Yes, we did.
So it wasn't
Why were
TT.
you meeting with him? Why did you summons him? Or did he come to you?
No, we tracked him down. He was a guest at the Homeview Suites. Reason being,
See?
we, myself and Detective Kirkpatrick both know from experience that Teslas can be equipped with a thing called Sentry Mode, which basically takes the Tesla uses cameras all around. That's how it navigates and does the self-driving stuff and everything. But it can also use those cameras if the Sentry Mode is enabled to record activities around the car. If there's some type of motion or movement around the car, basically as a security feature.
And the owner of the vehicle, did he come downstairs and actually meet with you at the Tesla itself?
Yes, he did.
Did he access that security system internally within the Tesla?
He did.
Was he able to locate recorded and stored video footage from the time or around the time the shooting occurred?
Yes, he did.
And did you view it?
I did.
How did you view it?
On the screen in the Tesla itself, on the dashboard, there's a big computer screen that basically runs the entire vehicle. That's where we viewed the video that was stored on a small hard drive that he had hooked up to in the glove box of his car.
Did you locate video that depicted the attackers in this case traveling near the Tesla, both traveling to the area where the shooting occurred and then traveling or running away from it.
Yes, we did, sir.
Did you collect that video?
Yes, we did.
Your Honor, we're going to publish States 23.
Okay.
Got a light skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. We need a haircut, cuz. What's going on with that edge up?
First, before you do,
They got a chili bowl, look like that little boy off South Central.
Detective, is this the beginning of that
Hey,
footage?
nigga,
that
this
was collected?
Hoover, nigga.
It appears so, yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Nigga, this 5 Deuce Hoover, cuz. Looking at yeah, Bobby Johnson, little boy. Hey, what you say, Loke? Deuce. You stealing car batteries, cuz. Get your your ass on, Isaiah. And he got some overalls with some knee socks on, like. Oh shit! The likes up, gang. Get the likes up, man. Hey, say Ray Ray. Say Ray Ray. Say Ray Ray. Nigga, this 5 Deuce Hoover, cuz.
Detectives, does that appear to be the same car that had passed earlier?
Yes, sir.
And then we have a second car.
That's correct.
The first car, the black car, did that end up being a Chevy Impala
It did, yes, sir.
that became a suspect vehicle in this case?
Yes, sir.
The second car, is that a silver Chevy Cruze?
It is, yes, sir.
And did that become a suspect car in this case?
It did, yes, sir.
And it appears the Cruze just did a 3-point turn and turned back around to
That's
head
correct.
to the south.
That's correct, yes, sir.
So would it be fair to say this camera is facing in that same oblique direction as the car we were looking at, so to the northeast,
Yes, sir.
towards the western side of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
Hey, this 5 Deuce Hoover, cuz.
The people who just ran by in the videos that were later collected from the hotel, did they appear to be consistent with the shooters
They do, yes, sir.
and how they're dressed?
Yes, sir.
And did they appear to be carrying weapons?
Yes, they did.
I need to speak to TT. That bitch got some explaining to do. I'm gonna be real. That bitch got to explain some shit to me. 'Cause you gave us a lot of headaches, TT,
Is
over
that
your
the
line.
Dodge
That's
Charger?
bullshit.
Yes.
And again, the two shooters.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this a different camera?
Yes, sir. This is the rear camera or rear facing camera.
Is that on the northwestern side of the vehicle?
Yes,
Is this a third shooter being reflected?
it is.
In this video, can we see one of the charging stations?
Yes, we can. Yes, sir.
And does that one appear to be hooked up to the car?
It does. Yes, sir.
Does that appear to be the same person that came by earlier?
It does. Yes, sir.
We saw some white flashing, but then we saw a consistent, persistent flashing. That second flashing, what was that?
I believe the vehicle's actual security system activating with the lights flashing.
In this view, did we see that same third shooter run past both charging stations on the rear of the Tesla?
Yes, sir.
Is that what this camera, where it's mounted and where it's, I guess, recording from?
Yes, sir. Right above the tag.
It's your mods, Ratchet. It's your mods.
Is that the same third shooter individual?
It is. Yes, sir.
And we saw him firing a rifle.
Yes, sir.
Is this another camera on the car?
Yes, sir. It's the passenger side camera.
So the Tesla was facing out of the parking spot?
Yes, it was.
Damn, Tesla camera better than my damn camera.
Same individual?
Yes, sir.
Is that the headlights of the Charger?
Yes, sir.
Is this the original camera position we were looking at?
It is. Yes, sir.
And does it show the flashing lights of the alarm system?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna do 22A through B. Detective, did you and Detective Kirkpatrick also investigate the surveillance video system of the hotel?
Yes, we did, sir.
And were you able to find and locate video recording from around the time of the shooting incident, several minutes before and several minutes after?
Yes, sir.
And did that system contain multiple cameras around the perimeter of the hotel?
It did. Yes, sir.
Did you collect video from multiple cameras, both on the eastern side, the western side, the northern side of the home to suites?
Yes, sir.
So have you seen this exhibit in a composite showing multiple camera views around,
Yes, sir.
tracking the vehicles as they enter the parking lot?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, Your Honor, we're going to publish States 22A.
Okay.
So if you can assist us with some narration here, is this the Impala entering the parking lot?
It is, yes, sir.
And is it heading now northbound on the eastern side?
It is, yes, sir.
Continuing northbound?
Yes, sir.
Is that vehicle now passing into the northern end of the parking lot?
It is, yes, sir.
And now is that vehicle on the western side of the home to suites,
Yes, sir.
facing south?
Yes, sir.
And it would have just passed the Tesla.
It would have, yes, sir.
Does it appear to now be turning and heading back to the north?
Yes, sir.
And does it do that just to the north of the edge of the southern end of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
Now, this camera, is this on the southern end of the hotel facing south, and then another camera facing southwest?
Yes, sir.
And do we see the Chevy Cruze again?
Yes, we do.
And is it now on the western side of the hotel,
It is.
near the Tesla?
Yes, sir.
And that's, again, the Tesla being worked in with the hotel cameras,
Yes, sir.
okay, in this composite. The hotel recording system, the cameras, especially the ones showing the portico from both ends, was the timestamp on that determined to be a couple of minutes slow?
Yes, sir. It was 1 minute and 45 seconds slow, I believe.
1 minute and 45 seconds. So to get real time, we would have to add 1 minute and 45 seconds to the time being reflected.
That's correct.
Date was correct?
It was, yes, sir.
At the very top of that video, could you see the Impala parking?
It is, sir. Yes. Backing into a space.
All right, and now the Cruze is leaving.
Yes, sir.
Which direction does the Cruze turn onto 40th McKinley?
Southbound, sir.
That would take it in the direction of the Moffitt Cancer Center down south of there.
Yes.
And this is again the Tesla we saw earlier, video
Yes, sir.
from the Tesla. Do we see here the collision between the fleeing Altima
Yes, sir.
and Hyundai? Does it appear that the shooter who was near the tree bumped into the bottom of the tree with his head?
Yes, sir.
Does it appear one of the shooters ran through the patio area?
Yes, sir.
And then came out running past the Tesla?
Yes, sir.
From the sequence of events, when the third shooter who went behind the Tesla charging stations, when he comes back up and is firing his weapon in rapid fire down the western side of the hotel, does that appear to set off the alarm system on the car there?
We're going to object. The state continue to narrate the video. I think they can ask what the detective saw, but not narrating what the state believes is on the video.
Well, you are leading, so Mr. Harmons, just rephrase your question.
Sure. The alarm system that goes off on the car, does that appear to you to be at a time near the shooter shooting up the west side of the
Blue
hotel?
It
Peaches.
does, yes, sir.
Do you believe there was some association between the two?
I do, sir. Yes.
What do you believe happened there?
Just the overpressure and concussion of the shots being fired from a rifle in close proximity to the vehicle would have created enough vibration to trigger an alarm system, similar to like a firework being ignited next to a car that's equipped with an alarm.
report. These niggas look like they just know they going to jail forever. You smiling today, is you? I'm a big boy. Nigga look like they about 40 years old. Nigga like 23.
Oh, I did, that's fine.
Like they were born in 81.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez,
No objection. Excuse me. No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Guess who's going to jail tonight?
may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Detective.
Morning.
I want to just go back over a few of the things we heard about this morning. A lot of evidence was collected at the crime scene.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Among those things, numerous 9mm casings, correct?
Yes, sir.
I think we heard 31.
Yes, sir.
And 29 of those, I believe you said, were turned over to ATF for further processing, correct?
30 of them.
30 of them.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And when these casings and any of these items are collected, it's typically done by crime scene technicians.
Yes, sir.
correct? And you oversee that.
That's correct.
But you want to ensure that all of these items are kept in the natural state they're in when they're found so that they can be preserved for testing later.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things ATF was able to do, and one of the reasons it was turned over to them, these casings, is they have a process to actually test these casings for potential DNA.
That's correct.
And then they also can do other, forensic testing to try to potentially match the casings to each other and to a gun.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that was the reason that one of them also was kept for TPD, not for the DNA testing, but for brass track snibin comparison. Right?
Yes, sir.
And that's the process, or one of the processes by which casings can be compared to one another.
Yes, sir.
You also collected, I think we heard a lot about this, but several projectiles, correct?
Yes, sir.
And not just whole projectiles. For instance, I'll show you what is in evidence is 9C. I'd like to show you what's already in evidence is 9C. Is that a projectile?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that one is, it looks to
Yeah,
be.
go check my
pretty
Instagram and my
well attached,
Facebook.
correct?
Look what Kiwan
Yes,
posted.
sir.
And some of them, for instance, 9G would be fragments from a projectile, correct?
Yes, sir.
One of the important characteristics that you might be looking for in these fragments, we can see it somewhat, for instance, in this one, 9T, would be these striations in the projectile, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's rifling.
Usually rifling could be the crimping at the edge, depends on where it is on it itself, but generally rifling, yes, sir.
And rifling, and this may have been covered this morning, but rifling, those are the marks that are left behind on a projectile from the barrel that the projectile travels through, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
And that can be important in an investigation like this because firearms examiners can compare those riflings to other projectiles and to potentially other firearms to determine what caliber the projectile may be and what firearm might have fired it, correct?
Yes, sir.
So any projectiles that you find are pretty critical pieces of evidence, correct?
Yes, depending on the quality of the evidence, but yes.
Sure.
We'll find them.
Some may be so broken up they can't be abused, right?
That's correct.
Some, especially any that have rifling left on them, can potentially be pretty important.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then, I don't know if this was covered, but you didn't only collect projectiles from the scene of the shooting, but I believe the next day, you actually also collected several projectiles from the Dodge Charger as well, correct?
Fragments, but yes, sir.
Fragments. And it was what, maybe about 8 or so fragments collected from the Dodge Charger?
I'd have to refer to my report, but that sounds about right.
You listed them in your report,
I
right?
did,
Each specific one?
Yes, sir.
And again, those are pretty important because these are projectiles coming from the shooter who likely would have killed Mr. Jones, right?
That's correct.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Petridis? Okay, redirect, Mr. Harmon?
Yes, Your Honor. Detective, counsel for Mr. Gathright just brought up NIBIN, so I want to talk to you about that. NIBIN is a process where shell casings are put into a system, and there's a screening process to see if they may be related to other shell casings that have been collected in other crimes or scenes.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
But even if they're associated, that is simply a screening process, correct?
Yes, sir. The bullet or the fragment or actually in this case, the casing for NIBIN that's being analyzed would eventually have to go to a crime laboratory for an actual microscopic comparison.
So that's just an investigative tool that may lead to evidence that you would then submit to a firearms examiner or analyst at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Yeah, it's just for investigative leads.
Okay. And then you would base your findings or your investigation on the findings of that firearm analyst, correct?
That's correct.
And you have submitted evidence to the firearms lab at FDLE in the past?
I have, yes, sir.
How many times?
More than I can count, especially in 5 years in homicide and 2 years, almost 2 years in the gun unit. A lot.
Okay, a lot. And do you rely upon their findings?
Yes.
And you've been asked about the importance of projectiles and items located in crime scenes like this from firearms as to whether they are potentially important or critical evidence or and you responded, it depends on the quality of the item, correct?
That's correct.
It depends on whether it has characteristics that lend itself to comparison.
That's correct.
So if you have an item like the ones we saw where you have a flattened piece of lead with no rifling on it and no striations on it, that is of zero quality to a firearms analyst, isn't it?
That's correct.
Those cannot be compared to any rifle or to anything.
That's correct.
It's only items that touch the inside of the barrel where the rifling is that actually have imparted rifling where you could potentially compare it.
Yes, sir. We usually
Okay.
send off more whole pieces, whole bullets, whole projectiles that we can get that have limited deformities to them because we know that that's
Right.
best quality evidence.
Now, in this scene, you had 31 shell casings, correct?
Yes, sir. 31.
All right. So at least 31 9mm projectiles were fired, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And if those 9mm projectiles were recovered, you would not expect them to match an AR rifle that is chambered in 300 blackout or 5.56, right?
No,
Different caliber class, right?
that's correct.
And if, like you were talking about, a high-powered, high-pressure, the same pressure that set off the alarm of the Tesla, if that high-powered round passes through automotive glass or sheet metal and fragments, like the rounds or the articles that you found inside of or may have collected from the Charger, and they fragment away from the jacket, or even the jacket is separated and it fragments, you can have items that have no quality or maybe some quality, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I can rephrase.
Yes.
If they fragment and the jacketing either departs from the core of the bullet or is deformed in some way, would you expect it to have value for comparison to
No.
to a rifle or to any other item?
No, some of those fragments when they start separating are almost microscopic.
Nothing else.
Okay, may this witness be excused, subject to recall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, detective. You're free to go. State you have a quick witness.
I do, Your Honor. I would like to call Joa Randolph.
Okay. And so before we bring the witness in, I want to alert the media that this is a witness that has requested that their identity not be portrayed. as they're testifying. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I have the ones I need.
Rakeem Sharkey, charged with sex trafficking.
What y'all thinking, man? This is they got these boys. I could tell by the body language of everybody in the room. I could tell that like everybody know it's over. Like you could just read everybody body language and be like, these niggas know they finna go to jail forever, bro. What y'all think in the chat? They was looking different yesterday than they looking today. This is my opinion. Let's go. Let's go.
And give today.
Wait, you gotta project your voice a little bit. Let me see where that microphone is. Yeah, you gotta lean the microphone and try and speak up, because if I'm having trouble hearing you, that means everybody else is gonna have trouble.
Aja Randolph.
Much better, thank you. Miss Randolph, what city do you live in?
Jacksonville.
How long have you lived in Jacksonville?
My whole life.
Can you say
My whole life.
your whole life? Okay. And do you know somebody by the name of Charles Jones?
Yes.
How long have you known Charles Jones?
Since 6th grade.
6th grade?
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak, I'm going to ask you to kind of to get really close to that mic because it projects your voice out. You said that you know Mr. Jones since the 6th grade. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did Mr. Jones, did he like to rap?
Yes.
Did he do that even in grade school?
Yes.
Does he have a nickname now that he was an adult?
Yes.
What was his nickname?
Foolio.
And did he have, was there another part to that? Was there a name before Foolio that sometimes he also went by?
I guess Julio.
Julio? Okay.
Julio regularly.
And let's go to June 22nd of 2024. Did you come down to Tampa during that weekend?
Yes.
Okay, and was that a Saturday?
I don't know.
Do you know if it was the weekend?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you come down to Tampa from Jacksonville during that weekend?
Money.
You said Monty.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Whoa,
that
whoa,
a
whoa,
nickname
Monty?
for somebody by the name of Armani Turner?
Yes.
How do you know Armani Turner?
Wait,
We're friends.
no money.
Friends. And how long have you been friends with Miss Armani Turner?
7 years.
7 years. Back in June of 2024,
That's a
was
Julio
Armani
girl.
Turner, was she dating Charles Jones?
That's Foolio girl, right?
Yes.
And you said you traveled down with her. Is that correct? From Jacksonville to Tampa?
Yes.
And how did you get here?
A car.
A car. Who owned that car?
Money.
Okay, so it was Armani Turner's car. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's already in evidence. States Exhibit 2E. Can you see that on your screen? And I'm gonna, let me take that out of Zoom. Do you see that vehicle, ma'am?
Yes.
And do you recognize that car?
Yes.
And whose car is that?
Mine.
Armani's? Okay. And I know that you keep calling her Monty. I'm gonna formally call her Miss Turner, okay?
Okay.
But I know that that's how you know her. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you came down in that vehicle with her. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why did you come to Tampa that weekend with Armani Turner?
For Charles' birthday.
For Charles Jones' birthday?
Yes.
There was a celebration here in Tampa.
Yes.
And where was that celebration going to be?
At a club.
At a club? Okay. And where were you going to stay overnight?
A B&B.
An Airbnb?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with Tampa?
No.
Did you know what the address of that Airbnb was?
No.
Was that somewhere located near Tampa?
I thought it was Tampa.
It was in Tampa. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. So you went to an Airbnb on Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was there anyone else with you in the car and Armani Turner coming from Jacksonville to Tampa?
Yes.
Who else was with you?
Trying to think of the name.
Oh, you can't remember the name. Was there another, was there a gentleman that was with you?
Yes.
Okay. And does Xavier Edwards, does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Sustained as to leading.
Were you familiar with all of the names of the people that were involved at that Airbnb with you and Miss Armani Turner?
Kind of.
Had you previously given testimony in this case regarding who you were with and who you drove from Tampa with Armani Turner?
Yes.
With looking at your prior testimony, would that help refresh your recollection?
No, Xavier was with us.
So does that, okay, you do remember that the person was named Xavier?
Yes.
Okay. And so it was just the three of you coming from Jacksonville to Tampa, is that correct?
Yes.
And you said that you went to an Airbnb. Who was at the Airbnb when you arrived?
Other people, I guess people who came down there, people from there, Charles and whoever came with them.
Okay. And you said there were already people there. What time do you think that you arrived?
11:45, 11:50, something like that.
Okay.
A little before 12
Okay. Are we talking in the
p.m.
PM at night, right? So it's pretty late at night. And you said that Charles Jones was there, is that correct?
Yes.
And there were some other people from Jacksonville?
Yes.
Did you know all of the people that were there?
No.
Did you know some of the people that were there?
Yes.
Who were some of the other people that you knew who were there at the Airbnb?
Charles, Gino, Robert.
We're going to take it one at a time. You said Charles Jones, is that correct?
Yes. Gino and Robert.
Gino and Robert. Gino Norris and Robert Howard?
Yes.
You had met all of those people before, is that correct?
Correct.
And were there other individuals there that you said that you did not know who they were?
Yes.
While you were at the Airbnb, did anything unusual, any sort of fights or any problems break out at the Airbnb?
No.
At some point, did law enforcement respond to the Airbnb?
Yes.
Why did law enforcement respond there?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. At some point, did you and everybody who was at the Airbnb have to pack up and leave out of the Airbnb?
Yes.
And did you help do that?
Yes.
And what about Miss Turner? Did she also assist?
Yes.
And after you had packed up, what did you do at that point?
Went to the performance.
Okay, to the clubs, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what the name of the clubs were?
I never knew them.
You never knew the names?
No.
Going back
Ain't this
to
old
the
girl from
Airbnb
Spaces?
before you left, were there people that were partying at the Airbnb?
Yes, they had already left before the police came.
Okay, so there were only a few people there when the police actually showed up, is that correct?
Yes.
During that night after you had arrived at the Airbnb, had you been drinking at all?
Yes,
And even though, how much did you have to drink, if you can tell us, if you remember?
not that much.
So you still remember the night of that evening pretty well?
I won't forget it.
And so at that Airbnb, were there times where your friend Charles Jones, that he went on Instagram Live?
Not while I was there.
Not where you were there. Were there times during the night that you saw him go on Instagram Live?
No.
Do you remember being at a club with him?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember kind of going up to the steps with one of the clubs?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember him at that point, anytime during that point of him going on Instagram?
No.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay. Let's back up a little bit. When you are leaving the Airbnb and going to the clubs, who are you riding with?
Armani.
Armani. In the same car, that Hyundai that we just showed in States Exhibit 2E?
Yes.
Is there anyone with you and Armani Turner when you are leaving the Airbnb and going to the clubs?
No, it's just me and Armani in the car.
Was there, at some point, were you following anyone to get to the clubs?
We was behind Charles' car from the B&B to the first club, from the first club to the second club. We was literally where he went, we went. He didn't go nowhere without us.
And who was driving?
Armani.
And you said that she was following Charles Jones, is that correct?
Yes.
She know where she was going?
No, we just follow his car.
And you said from club to club, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you know or pay attention to where those clubs were located?
I don't know the city.
And at any of the clubs that you were with that night with Charles Jones and Armani Turner, were there any issues or any problems during those two places where you were at the clubs?
No.
What happened after the clubs?
We was looking for somewhere to go.
Because the Airbnb was no longer available, is that correct?
Correct.
And so what happened? Where did you go after the last club that you were at with Miss Armani Turner and Charles Jones?
We went to a hotel.
A hotel, okay. Do you remember the name of the hotel?
No.
And so how many cars go to the hotel that are involved with Charles Jones' party?
3.
3, is that correct?
Yes.
So again, did you and Armani Turner follow Charles Jones' vehicle to a hotel?
Yes.
And you said that there was another car, is that correct?
Yes.
What happens when you get to that hotel?
We were sitting in the car and he went in to go check on the reservations he had made while we was in the last club. And he comes out and he called us and was like, see if we can find another hotel because they said they gave the reservations away. And then we was looking for somewhere else to go because somebody else called and said everything in Temple was booked up. So they had to go back towards the B&B. And as we were doing that, we started getting shot at.
I'm going to stop you a little bit and back up a little bit. You said he went back into the hotel. Who are you referring to?
Charles went to the hotel to check on the reservations he made. He came back out, got in the car, called us, and said we got to find somewhere else because they gave away the reservations. And then that's when we start hearing gunshots.
And you are still in the vehicle, the Hyundai with Miss Armani Turner, is that correct?
Correct.
Is there anyone else in the vehicle at that time when you went from the last club to the hotel?
Robert.
Robert, are you referring to Robert Howard?
Yes.
So he was also in the vehicle with you and Armani Turner, is that correct?
Correct.
And then Charles Jones was in his vehicle, is that correct?
Correct.
And I'm gonna go ahead and put 2E back on the screen. Do you also see the vehicle belonging to Charles Jones in this picture?
Yes.
And can you tell us what vehicle, where that's located in the photo?
The black Charger.
And it's right here, is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, the one that I'm pointing to that is to the left of the photograph.
Yes.
And is that the vehicle that Armani Turner was following all night?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to getting to the hotel, did you or Armani Turner or anyone with you, or you yourself see or be alerted to anyone following you?
No.
Were you paying attention or expecting any of that to happen?
No, I was out the window.
And you said at some point, you were at the hotel, is that correct? And Charles Jones comes back out
Yes,
and you're just seated in your vehicle, or I'm sorry, in Armani Turner's vehicle, is that correct?
correct.
And where are you seated in the vehicle?
Either the passenger seat or in the back seat.
And you don't remember where you were seated?
No. I was in both because we were sitting for like a little minute, so I went back and forth. At the time that the gun started going off, I don't know if I was in the front or the back.
So during different rides that night, you had changed your position, is that correct?
I changed when we was sitting in front of the hotel.
Okay. And so what happened? You said you started hearing shooting, is that correct?
Correct.
What happened when you heard the shooting?
We was trying to figure out where it was coming from. And then as it got louder, we started to drive off, and then we ended up hitting the other car that was with us.
And who was driving at that point?
Monty was still driving.
And you said that she ended up hitting the other car that was with your party, is that correct? Did you know who was in the other car?
I think his cousin or Charles' cousin or something.
Charles Jones' cousin, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you know what his name was?
No, I don't know him.
What happened after those two cars, Armani, the car that you were in and the other car, hit each other?
We pulled off. I guess we went separate ways, and we was driving down the street, and we seen another car pull out, and we thought that was Charles' car, so we turned around, but that car kept going. So then we rode down the street and found the police officer and told them we just got shot at, and then they wasn't listening, so we got back in the car and rolled off, and they started following us, and we just led them back to the hotel and drove around until we found Charles' car.
Okay. And was that the first time in states 2E where they're positioned? Is that the first time after you had left the parking lot that you saw Charles Jones' vehicle again?
Yes.
And was that, and I'm going to go to 2E. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, is that I touched you? And are these the positions that the vehicles ended up in when you came back?
Yes, we stopped right here because we seen the car and the doors open.
And when you got out of the vehicle, you said law enforcement at that point had been following you. Is that correct?
Yes.
What happened when you got out of the vehicle, when you were back at that scene in front of the hotel?
They pulled guns on us and tried to arrest us for running away from them.
And were you upset at that point?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you say at that point?
We just got shot at.
So you're trying to explain what happened?
Yes.
And eventually, did law enforcement then respond into the hotel?
Yes.
And were there also law enforcement officers from the University of South Florida there?
I don't know.
Okay. Were there some law enforcement officers that stayed with you and got information from you and Ms. Turner and Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Did you see from where you were seated and when you got out of the vehicle, could you see into the black Dodge Charger?
When I got out the car, I could see into his car.
And what did you see, ma'am?
A person.
Did you recognize the person that was in the vehicle?
I didn't know exactly that it was him, but I did see somebody.
Could you see any sort of movement at that point?
No.
And other than that person that you saw, did you see anyone else near the vehicle at that time?
No, it was only one person.
I'm going to show you what's been already into evidence 2B6.
Do I gotta watch this?
We're not gonna show all of it. I'm gonna have her stop it. I'm just gonna ask you where your vehicle is and who's in each vehicle that you are aware of, okay? Yep. Okay, ma'am, you see where the black Charger is in this vehicle? I'm sorry, in this video, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where is Armani Turner's vehicle, the vehicle that you are in this video?
Directly behind it.
Okay. And so that is the vehicle behind the black Charger under the portico, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where is the other vehicle that is his cousin? Where is that located?
On the side of the driver's side.
Okay. And you're saying driver's side, or you're kind of pointing. Is it the vehicle with the lights on that's kind of faced in the other direction, not under the portico? Ma'am, if you want to turn behind you, do you see there's a big giant video up there? Can you point out where the friend's car is?
I believe it's the car under the port that's right next to us.
Okay. Can we, hold on one second.
Because his car wasn't facing the same direction that we were facing. It was facing the opposite way.
Right. We're going to play just a portion of it. Can you fast forward it to where they're moving? Can you shut this screen off for a second? So I'm going to show you at this time stamp of 6:22. Do you see Armani Turner's car backing out?
Yes.
And is that the friend's car that crashed into her?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, did you want to shut that off? Okay. After you guys got back to the scene and were able to provide statements to law enforcement, did you see any other people that were from the original party at that scene?
Yes.
Okay. Did other people start to show up at that scene after law enforcement had arrived?
Yes.
Do you know who Aaliyah Albritton is?
No.
Had you ever met her before?
No.
And you said that there were people from Jacksonville who you were not aware of. Is that correct?
Yes.
And at some point, did his mother arrive at the scene as well?
I wasn't there when she got there.
Okay. That you had already left at that point?
Yes.
Did you, when you first got back there and you saw one person in the scene, had you seen what happened to Gino Norris?
No.
Had you seen what happened to Xavier Edwards at that point?
No. When I seen them, they was coming out on a stretcher.
And that you had already been back there when the ambulance had arrived, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you recognize both of them being taken out?
Yes.
I want to ask you a little bit more about Charles Jones. You said that he was a rapper, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were aware that he does drill raps?
Yes.
Did you listen to a lot of his music?
No.
Were you aware whether or not that he was involved with a gang called Six Block?
No.
You lying?
Is that something that you talked about or wanted to know about?
No, they don't have nothing to do with me.
In Jacksonville, though, are you aware that there are groups or rival groups that are opposed to one another based on the neighborhood?
Yeah, why they not showing her?
But again, something that you don't want to get
Yeah.
involved in. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, may I have one moment? Yes. All right. This time we pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
Ms. Randolph, you know Kenny Caps, right?
Randolph.
Yes.
You know
Who last name was
Tay Tay, right?
No,
Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of McCrae, Tafia McCrae?
no,
Um, and you said you're not aware of a person by the name of Aaliyah Albritton?
correct, don't know her.
How about Zay or Omerta 55? You know 55?
Xavier, yes.
Okay. And for a portion of the time that you guys were in Tampa and you were going from place to place,
Opioid addiction doesn't have one face or one story, but there's
That girl is up there lying. That girl is up there lying. What y'all think? That girl is lying her ass off. Man. That girl is lying. She know all them motherfuckers.
deserves a new chapter. Start yours today at quick.md.
I never knew the name. I just said,
if I were to tell you teasers, does that ring a bell or you just don't remember, don't know?
no, I just don't know.
And the second club, do you remember what the name of that club was?
After spot? After spot,
It was like an after, a place that doesn't open till late at night to early in the morning.
yes.
Would the name Truth 18, does that sound familiar to you or no?
No,
So from the strip club to Truth 18, do you know who was in the Charger? And it may take you a minute to kind of think about it because of there being 3 cars.
no. Charles, Gino, and Xavier.
I'm sorry, Charles, Gino, and,
Xavier.
okay. And do you know who drove that Charger on that particular stretch from the strip club to the second club?
No,
She don't know shit, huh?
I don't have anything further. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sonardi, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise, any questions? Mr. Petridis, any questions? Okay, redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Okay, may this witness be excused?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You are free to go.
That nigga ugly in the bitch. That's an ugly ass dude, boy.
Okay, very good. All right, members of the jury, it's 12:17, so we'll go ahead and take our
So,
lunch
Jen.
recess. We will reconvene at 1:15. And just remember my previous instructions, don't watch, read, listen to any newscasts related to this case, talk to anybody about this case. All right, see you all at 1:15.
All rise.
They gone till 1:15, y'all. They gone till 1:15. So with that being said, y'all know we finna get the hell up out of here. I got things I gotta do today. So the rest of this trial, y'all just gonna have to catch it on your own. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna watch it anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so rest of the trial today, y'all tune in over there. I got things I gotta do, so I ain't gonna be able to go live with it. I'll have some stories out for y'all later. We'll be live later on tonight. Salute to all y'all. Y'all know my Instagram. Y'all know my number. Y'all, oh, they just said something. Gino is coming next. They said Gino will be next. Aaliyah and Camilla. I'm trying to see what they're saying. Yeah, they said Aaliyah coming, Camilla, and Gino next. So yeah, y'all be tuned in for that shit. Gino, Camilla, and Aaliyah are all coming up next. So yeah, at 1:15, y'all go back and watch the damn trial. We'll pick up on it tonight at some point. I'll probably go live and talk about it later on tonight. So salute to the gang, man. I love y'all more than y'all will ever know. This your boy Big Ratchet. I'm gone, man. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later, man. I got things I gotta do, so I'll be out. Love y'all. Salute.